Hey guys, and welcome to Steele Wars. I am Steele Saunders, and I do love Star Wars. And I had to click this Instagram thing, and I totally frazzed out. And joining me is your buddy and mine from Blue Harvest Podcast, reppin' corn and Adidas on his head. It's Hawes Burkhart. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right, buddy. How are you?
I am well. Well, I was freaking out over this Instagram live thing,
Mm-hmm.
but lots of people are joining.
Okay. Nice.
Steve Mack,
Okay.
Jucklin's joined. My wife.
All right. Hello. Hello.
What's been happening, buddy?
Not a whole lot, buddy. Not a whole lot at all. Trying to adjust to my new schedule at my job, and it's not going great.
You got too many weekends.
No, I don't have a weekend anymore, really.
You got too many weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You were saying very unprofessionally before the podcast started that you'd seen the Lego deal.
Yeah, I watched the first two episodes last night, and there's
Rebuilding the galaxy. How long does the whole thing go for?
probably like a little under an hour. There's 4 episodes. I think each one's like maybe 25 minutes long. Wait. So a little under 2 hours.
Okay. Yeah. It's not my thing at all. Like the whole reimagining, and it's just to my Star Wars canon OCD. It's just I just that just
Right.
But it caught Harry's attention, and over a couple of days, he ended up watching all of them.
Okay. Did he like it?
Yeah, he thought it was cool. He liked all the things that were making me itchy.
Perfect.
He's a big fan of the bad guy Millennium Falcon. That's black.
Okay. Okay. You remember in the books when Chewbacca died and Han Solo painted the Millennium Falcon black?
I did not remember that, but it jogs a very faint memory.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And
mm-hmm.
for how long? Forever?
No, it wasn't forever. A couple of books, maybe, if I remember correctly.
That wouldn't have worked well in the films.
No, how would you see it in space? You wouldn't.
In space, no one can see you black. The it does look pretty cool, but
Yeah.
you know, I am a veteran of the Shadow Stormtrooper releases. Remember those years?
Mm-hmm. I do.
Oh my stars.
Have you seen the Black Millennium Falcon Lego set? They have a Lego set out for it now, and I've seen it a couple of times at Target.
No need to brag. Yes, I have. I have seen that.
It was all right, you know.
Okay.
It's not for me, you know, not something I'm picking up.
No. I like one day me and Harry want to get the the real deal.
Oh, the big one, yeah.
Yeah, that's like always our one day. Now, Hawes, have you been playing this video game?
Oh yeah, buddy.
Oh my God, Hawes, that was a very hearty. Oh yeah, that was like
man.
I felt like I was watching the conclusion of Ferris Bueller's Day Off there for a second.
All right.
How's this for is this a triggering line from this IGN article? Star Wars Outlaws delivers the galaxy's underworld far better than Solo or the Book of Boba Fett.
What is this really necessary, IGN? Why are you taking shots? What is going on here?
I thought you were gonna ask me if it was necessary, and I'm like,
well, I mean, I knew.
Like,
listen, I know your game, Steele.
by how high pitched your voice just went, it was like, oh, it's very necessary.
Yeah, I don't know that I wouldn't. This is the thing. It's kind of an unfair comparison, right? Because Book of Boba Fett was like under 7 hours, Solo's a couple hours, and you can spend 40 to 50 hours in this game. yeah, of course you're going to get a better look at in the underworld.
How many hours have you spent in this game, Hawes?
I would say I'm probably about 15 or 20 in.
Wow. So do you feel like you're halfway, or?
No, no, I'm still on the first planet. I'm being very thorough and exploring a lot.
Wow.
Hmm.
The only reason I wow at that is on the Sith list, they always talk about like, oh, what planet, where are you?
Hmm.
And if someone's on the first planet, I have gathered that the other people on the show are a bit like, oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, well, listen, they can say whatever they want. I don't care. I got other games
No,
going on too.
it's not it's not what they say, it's how they say it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what you got to watch out for, Hawes.
No, certainly.
Um,
I do. So my ship is fixed to where I can go to another planet, and I think I might head off to Tatooine today
oh yeah,
to poke around.
Is that with Kumar? Your ship, it's fixed. Sorry. It's an Acolyte reference.
Oh,
remember that show?
Mm-hmm.
They got rid of. We'll talk about that later. Hey, what I've done, I've got some topics, and I've scaled them on happiness to sadness.
Okay, so what's can you tell me the first one and the last one? So most happy, most sad.
Well, the first one was this Star Wars Outlaws, because I knew
Okay.
you'd be excited to talk about it. So that's the most happy. And then it ends with just ranting about Jon Favreau. So if we've got time for that, stick around.
Mm-hmm. I'll let you take the floor on that.
Yes, but I do have a hard out for child pickup. So
fair enough.
Me and Jackie always fear the remember Homer doesn't pick up Bart, he forgets, and it's like, pick up Bart, and Trav use zip and all that, and then he gets there in his head, he fantasizes, and he gets there and he's a skeleton, and he's skeleton
still got the skeleton hair.
Yeah, it's like built into his skull, and so we call that skellying. So if you don't skelly. So a skelly would be heartbreaking.
Yeah, let's not let that happen.
Very frightening. So all right, Star Wars Outlaws, good times. Now, my Star Wars thing of the week, Hawes, which I actually think this is a first time event in our household. I believe that Harry consumed more Star Wars this week than I did.
Because of the Lego show?
Yeah.
All right.
We did watch Return of the Jedi, which was tremendous. Friday night on the couch. Max the cat even jumped up to join us.
Sheesh. How's Max doing?
Oh, he was spellbound by Wicket's performance. And, the Ewok death scene.
I would have covered Max's eyes for that one. I said, you don't need to see this, buddy.
I saw a little teardrop in his giant wide eyes.
Mm-hmm.
But it does bring me to the classic rant. Lucas, give us back Nub Nub. Yub Nub.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, just generations of children are getting pan flutes. This is not a new topic for us, Hawes. But it's just like, it's my memory coming out of the cinema. Like, just driving home, mum driving me home, and me making up lyrics to like, yup num numini nu nishdashi mama, and just gone.
So when you and Harry watched it on Friday, did you watch the most recent version of Return of the Jedi? But you have like a special version, right? Like a one that was restored.
Yeah, but we just watched Disney Plus because, like, he just picked it on the menu.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
So I'm not so hardcore where I go,
no, let me go get the disc.
Yeah. We've got to watch this version, All right, there's a comment here that we'll follow up on later on. Okay, so
Okay.
a little sizzle from the gold searcher, and aren't we all searching for gold in this world, Hawes?
All day, every day.
Now, Hawes, it was a. Actually, I've got an image. Actually, oh, I'm so glad I remembered this. I got a text from Hawes.
Oh, yep.
On Friday, and do you want to describe what's going on here, Hawes?
So on Friday, I guess they had the latest sort of Hasbro PulseCon, and one of the things they reviewed or revealed rather that's coming out is a Prince Shizor figure from Shadows of the Empire. And the minute I saw it, I knew who I had to send it to.
Got a nice photo and a where so back.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did lightly curse in my reply.
Did you see? I don't know if you saw this update. There was like, I guess in the product description for it, it said and collect other Black Series figures from Shadows of the Empire, including Dash Rendar. So we're getting a Dash Rendar at some point too.
Oh, oof. That's some good action. But it looks, it just looks dope. Like the shiny gold trim.
They did a really good job with the figure. There's no doubt about that.
It does look like, I guess an Alien's easier, but it does look close to like a figure arts like level of figure.
Especially with like the costuming details and the face sculpt on it. You know, obviously the promo pictures that we see can be quite a bit different from the final product, but it's looking good so far.
Here's my if you want to set it off, right? You want to make it perfect. Remember back in the Masters of the Universe days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was like Stinkor, and he was a skunk, right? It was basically Merman, but it was a skunk, right? Actually, I think it was exactly the same. But he came with an odor.
Yep. He smelled bad.
What if we can get a little bit of a pheromone?
I was wondering where this was going, and this is a great idea. This is a great idea.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And it makes you, they could engineer it so it makes you want to buy other Hasbro toys.
Well, if they would put them out, I'd probably be more willing.
Oh, that is...
You know, I've actually been on the hunt for a Black Series recently. It's the first time in a little while. I'm looking for the IG-11, the rebuilt one from Mando Season 3, where he carries Grogu in the front, like a little suit of armor. That's starting to hit the shelves, apparently, so I've been going around looking for it when I have time.
Yeah. Actually, did you see that other thing that Hasbro announced, the Tatooine backdrop thing?
No.
Wait there, I'll pull it up.
Is this one of those? They've been doing some sort of specialty play sets now for a couple years. Like they did the Carbonite freezing chamber and like the hall from the Tantive 4, right?
Wait, they did the Carbonite freezing chamber?
Yeah. And you had to buy 2 of them to put it together to have the full set.
Ah, okay. So that's semi-recently.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Within the last couple of years.
Because remember like the 90s one? Like the Power of the Force 2 one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was so psyched on that. But it wasn't... I wish they did sell... I would have bought 2 to make it a thing. But alas.
Yeah, they've been doing some play sets over the last couple of years, and I feel like they're actually pretty good.
Well, you got to sort of think it's... they're seeing all the fan ones, like the little cottage industries.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, hey, that's our pie.
Yep.
But good on them, I say. The why did that just go back to the same thing?
I'm not sure.
Oh, wait there. I think I opened it in, wrong browser. I've got to use Chrome to use the StreamYard properly.
I hope they do a full range of Shadow of the Empire figures.
It's pretty sick.
Oh, this is sick. I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty neat.
I wish I can look around it, right? I can see
Mhm.
myself around it. But I wish it didn't say the streets of Mos Eisley.
What do you wish it said?
Just like Tatooine Village.
Okay. Or Ajax.
Well, it's Anchorhead, I believe. But
okay.
But it would be such a good backdrop for my little Kenobi set section. And I think I will have to treat myself upon it's just too good. It actually, like, this is how good this is. Oh, and for those just listening to the podcast, which is most people, whoops. It's like a diorama backdrop of a Mos Eisley street, and it's got like an arch. It's got like one of those security droids in the door. Couple of classic Star Wars boxes. Like, see those? I've got a. Oh no, this was an actual official. This was a licensed thing. But I've got a little Star Wars bin from the Death Star.
Okay.
Like a white tub, which is pretty sick. But a guy gave it to me at Comic-Con one year. But back to this, and it comes with a Jawa. It's looking good. And the crazy thing is, from when I was on the Kenobi set, just so people that might have just listened to this for the first time, I was a backgrounder. Like, I was hanging with Jawas. So the fact that it comes with a Jawa and just seeing it, it's actually like, man, that brings back memories.
So you know something, just looking at the box image here that I'm noticing, if you look on the left side of the arch and the right side of sort of the facade of the front of the building, you see those pegs? You're able to buy multiple of these and configure them however you want.
They encourage it. And it even comes in different like, you can make it one straight wall.
Oh, ooh.
So you could, like, you know, some like I tip my hat to them. I tip your hat to them, Hawes. But nutbags, they're going to buy 17 of these and make a crazy diorama. Like,
of course, I know him. He is me. No, it's not me. But
the fact that they've got this and then the cantina and stuff, it's pretty sick. Like,
you know,
I would have been dribbling over this in the late 90s. Absolutely dribbling. Those Naboo play sets, remember those?
Oh man. You know, I still hope to come across that Royal Starship for a decent price. That thing's expensive, man.
Yeah, I had it, but I sold it.
I just recently got the Boba Fett throne room play set from the vintage collection.
It's high.
The one that came with like big Bib Fortuna as the pack-in figure. And I haven't taken it out of the box.
Big Bib.
Big Bib. I haven't taken it out of the box yet because the amount of accessories it comes with is ridiculous.
I remember seeing them all laid out at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I was instantly anxiety of like, well, there's a lot of things to lose.
Yeah. The shelving system's going to have to be finished before I put that thing together.
Get your sorry, I'm just going through tabs to get to what we're going to talk about. Ziploc bags. Be about it.
Yeah, because like I can't, like, just looking at everything and how it's, you know, laid out in the box and in the artwork, I can't imagine there's a place for every single one of those little accessories. I don't think I'll be able to use them all, so I'll have to put some in baggies. Yeah,
it's terrifying. But when you've got them in the bag, hey mate, they're in the bag. You know what I'm saying?
It's like there's a sense of just calm.
They're literally and metaphorically
in
the bag.
Nothing to worry about there. They're in the bag.
I have to start using that more.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start annoying Harry with, "Oh, it's in the bag."
What
Stop
does that mean?
saying that.
I gotta say, was it? I can't remember if it was just a regular conversation we were having on the phone or we were recording something and he was watching The Simpsons in the background and then he just started going, reference! That's a
Yeah,
reference!
we're on the phone.
Yeah, it was so funny, man. Man,
Yeah,
that's funny.
he always yells out reference, and then sometimes he can. I think I've told you this, but he go, "I'm not sure what that's from, but that's a reference." Because
Oh,
it's
really?
because
He'll know.
it's just so blatant.
Mm-hmm.
So uh over on YouTube, Cosmic 906 says, "What up, mates? How goes the convo?"
So far, so good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's had its highs and lows, but we're about to don't feel bad, Hawes. I was only joking about the highs and lows thing. The speaking of Ziploc bags and Tatooine, have you seen this bad boy?
Oh, I did see this. So you have the previous version of the sail barge, right?
I do. So the headline here over at IGN is Lego Star Wars Jabba's Sail Barge UCS. Is that Ultimate Collectors Series? Is that
It
like,
is.
oh, whew. Set announced coming in October. This is a sort of old black boxed deal that they have in Barnes and Noble and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How many
500
pieces?
bucks.
$500. How many pieces?
Where's the if oh hold on. Go up, didn't it?
Oh,
300 3,942. Ooh.
yeah. Where do you want to go up to, or did you see the thing?
Oh, and so this is the other thing. So if you sign up, you also get a free gift, the Lego Luke Skywalker lightsaber hilt.
Really?
Yeah, come on. That's pretty sick.
That is pretty sick. But as you stated, I do have the older version that Jackie got me.
Yeah, and this thing is big, buddy. This
Yeah.
new one, and
Well,
the original one's not small.
mine is in a little fish tank above me, with the little skiff and the sarlacc all set up, and it's set up in legit sarlacc pit sand from
I
when we
know.
visited the sarlacc. And there's actually bits of the sarlacc, little foam pieces, in the little diorama I got going over there.
That's the real Ultimate Collector series right there.
It's pretty good. And also, like that Lego lightsaber does sound pretty good. But then I've got that like real legit one that Eric made.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I'm just like, yeah, I've just got the best one. So why?
Right.
And also I do, as a rule, try to come up with 87 reasons why not to buy anything, because I buy very little.
Okay. Well, that's fair.
Those retros, they're my
Ooh, they're real good.
they're my little Christmas and birthday presents. Oh yeah. But right, you got to check this out. These close-up photos. The reveal. The shocking thing here. Can I zoom this in just a dash, I wonder? Nope. I hate it when you go to zoom in and it makes it smaller. Like,
Yeah. And is this IGN again?
yeah.
They have the worst setup for ads.
Yeah, well, if you want to buy a Lexus, which I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind one day owning a Lexus, I got to tell you.
I mean, it would be cool, but I got Star Wars figures to get or something. I don't know. What do I know?
It's like a fancy Honda.
Mm-hmm.
I love those Hondas. Anyway, so here's all the details of this giant Lego thing. So I was pretty much like, from the outside, I'm like, oh, it looks like the same.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you see this cannon up here, and you can like, there's actually like a little cannon that Leia can sit at. Like, I'm just like, oh, that is pretty good.
And then you can take that off, and it's got the whole inside structure too.
Now, how about this, Hawes? This is what caught my attention. Probably the thing I found the most exciting in the end of this story. Right here, he's out of focus, but they've got a Star Wars fan in, someone playing a Star Wars fan. Now, I just have to wonder, right? Because, as you know, Hawes, I'm neck deep in Hollywood, like, action, right?
Uh-huh.
So a lot of thought does actually go into how these people getting photographed for these photos, how they appear, what they're wearing, the colors, and all that sort of thing. It's very stewed over. This mustached, I don't know, medium-aged fellow is decked out of focus here, but it will come into focus soon, in a quite tight-fitting knit turtleneck sweater. Would you call that, Horse?
Yeah. I was trying to think of the material that is. Is that corduroy?
It's not corduroy. It's some sort of knit. But like that to me doesn't say.
Let's hang out and build a Lego.
Because it looks so itchy.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me uncomfortable with the toy. Like I don't. I'd rather be not itchy and not be playing. But that's just me. Obviously, I'm looking into it pretty deeply.
That Lego Max Rebo is almost makes the whole thing worth the price tag. Oh, that's good. Okay. R2 with the drink tray is pretty good.
We're looking inside, and there's Jabba, Salacious Crumb, and R2's got his drink tray. And there's Leia up on the cannon. That is sick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, a little jail. It's pretty dope. A kitchen with some bones. Man, look at all that. Look at the Ziplocs on that one, Hawes.
Oh, buddy. Well, that's the nice thing about a Lego set. Everything has its place, so you just get it in place. You don't need the Ziplocs.
When it does. And when they accidentally leave little pieces in extra.
It makes me so paranoid.
Oh. There's Bib before he blew up. So, yeah, that's pretty sick. But that turtleneck, let's go back to that. That is something else.
I don't know. Maybe that's what I start wearing.
It's just weird that they chose that person out of all the different persons. And then that top out of all the different tops.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It doesn't scream Star Wars fan to me or comfort.
And what is going on that table behind him, bro?
I don't know. But
three-legged table with what is that on top that's spilling out of the one container?
I don't know, but it doesn't look healthy.
It doesn't.
Cosmic says he's the only age group who can afford it.
Yep, I bet you he's got a Lexus.
How dare you? Can you hear that mower thing going off?
Yeah, it sounds like Texas Chainsaw Massacre is going on outside your house.
Ugh. All right, that's not good. All right, well, anyway, but we can hopefully buy some time.
Okay.
Because have you seen EW did a Breznican less, unfortunately, little Skeleton Crew article, preview, sizzle.
No, I did not. When did this come out? Today?
Yeah, today.
Yeah, I haven't seen this. No.
All right, breaking. I'm gonna maybe switch my thing off.
Okay.
And
listen to Jude Law for a couple minutes.
Unlike those other two, Star Wars has been in my life for 40 something years, more. And so it was oddly familiar, and yet, still thrilling. There's a huge sequence. I don't know if I'm allowed to say, I'm sure I'm allowed to say this. There's a huge sequence early on in a market. And so they filled the market with the characters from Star Wars. So for someone like me, where you see Jawas walking around or, creatures that you've seen in other films, it's like seeing old friends. It's very odd, but there they really are, and honestly, I think the thing that really captured my imagination, but also surprised me more than anything, was the interaction with the brilliant puppeteers and animatronic experts, because I had a lot of scenes with characters who were either aliens or droids or what have you, and so those things don't just appear. You're doing a scene with, say, 6 people who are operating this puppet, or an animatronics expert who's over here um, commanding the face of the mask in front of you. And that's a whole new thing for an actor. Like, normally as an actor, you're acting opposite another human being. In this case, you're acting opposite an alien, or a droid, and yet there are all these other people creating them while you're filming, and it was a pretty new experience for me.
Pretty new experience.
All right, Jude Law.
It's for a minute there, I thought they were actually aliens.
They brought in actual aliens for the filming.
Pretty. Oh, and they had there's a couple new photos, so I'll bang them up for you.
Oh, okay, sick. Ooh, look at that. Is that Urkel? That is. It is.
Oh my god.
That's Urkel.
It's like if Urkel and Dengar had a baby.
Heck yeah. Gunter, his name is.
Wow. Urkel.
Look at him, man. Good for him.
And then we've got like a photo of some of the pirates. We've got Vane, that's the Mandalorian guy, yeah.
Yep.
Gunter, played by Urkel, TV's Urkel. Brutus, who's is that a Wolfarian or something like that?
Shistavanian Wolfman.
There we go.
Like Lack Sivrak from the Cantina.
Yeah, right. Pax, who's a Reyes.
Uh-huh.
Wow. I had to stretch for that one. I shouldn't have to. And Chielt, who's a boring old human by the looks of it, and they're cut out of the photo.
Ooh, I don't know, man. I like the look. I like the look of the costumes and the set. This sometimes when you get like screenshot promo images from some of the live action shows, they don't look the best, right? This one actually looks pretty good.
Yeah, I'm like, my hype for it and expectations is pretty floppy. Like, of course I'm going to get excited when it gets closer and watch it straight away and all that. But I'm sort of like, I don't know, like I have no idea what the tone's going to be like. And
yeah, I have no clue about it. So it's open book for me.
I'm pretty mellow with expectations, sort of thing. But this looks fun. But it's all in the delivery. But I do like the these pirates. Although Urkel does look pretty a little bit Star Trek: The Next Generation season finale.
Okay.
So pretty TV looking, but a bit nicer.
Okay.
And then there was this sweet photo of Jod Narwood, Jude Law, and then the 4 skeleton crewers, KB, Wim, Fern, and Neil.
Somebody has been shopping the Lando collection for that shirt. Look at it.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter before.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Space Gap.
Yeah, he's got a little hamburger meat showing. I see you, Jod.
What? Jod? Ah, yeah,
well, that's his name, Jod.
Yeah, that's how good a name it is. What?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's that. Very exciting. I guess I should see. I think there was a few little tidbits of
like information.
Yeah, I don't know. There's pirates.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I don't want to hear that it's what it's like. I'm sick of that. Pirates are talked about so much in Star Wars, apparently. But I don't know, maybe people would call Han Solo a pirate, and he'd be like, "How dare you!" All right, you've won me back with that quote.
Uh-huh.
I love a good "How dare you."
Yeah, you do.
So does Harry. So
Oh,
does
really?
so.
Did he pick that up? Will he say the patented steel, how dare you?
Oh yeah, and he really extends it.
That's
As
awesome.
is Jackal in it. Actually, I'm not sure about Max, but he has a pretty sarcastic meow at times. Yeah, there's nothing really. Nothing really extra than what we just talked about. Oh, here we go. Finding the sweet spot was something Watson Ford were looking to do for the series as a whole, as they created an entirely new world within the pre-existing one of Star Wars, a world with certain rules that can't be broken. What's great about working at Lucasfilm is they'll let you know if you've gone outside of the boundaries. What says, Dave Filoni is our goalkeeper.
Okay.
And then it goes into a paragraph about how Dave Filoni is actually a great hockey player.
Good for you, Dave Filoni. Jeez.
But he's actually a great hockey player, but he's also a figurative goalkeeper.
Okay. Well, great. Good for you, Dave Filoni.
Hockey player, goalkeeper, cap keeper. You learn under George Lucas. Star Wars Skeleton Crew premieres December 3rd, Tuesday, on Disney Plus. Pause.
So not that far away. About a little under 3 months, I guess.
Oh, you're giving
Two
me
and a half.
anxiety.
Why is that?
I just got a lot of things to do for Christmas.
Oh yeah, same.
All right. Now, on to the more solemn news, Hawes.
Oh boy, what are we talking about here?
This is things that we have not talked about. Apologies about the break in programming, but trying to come back. Oh, wow. The podcast listener is waiting with bated breath. All right, everyone guess what Hawes is groaning about. This is Variety, August 19th. The Acolyte is dead. Star Wars series won't return for season 2. Your thoughts and feelings behind those hard sighs, THX level sighs.
It just bums me out, man. I was so excited for seeing where this show could potentially go. I ended the show very high on it overall, so I was looking forward to more of it.
Like, with the turns they presented in the last episode, like, you were more keen than ever just to like for me, it's not even judging if it's good or bad or whatever. It's just like, I just want to see that.
Yeah, you want to see where it goes. Yeah.
And we had the solo cut off of a storyline cut midway. Although it would be, that Lando series, which I actually saw an article the other day, Donald Glover saying Star Wars is too serious or something, and he's going to be I don't know, make it more casual.
Well, the big thing I took away from that is that he says they're still working on it, which was nice to hear because I kind of assumed otherwise.
Yeah, I hope they do get what's his name in Alden Ehrenreich to drop. Are you getting any little static? I'm getting a tiny bit of static.
No.
Well, that's infuriating. Anyway, Variety reports that Lucasfilm has elected not to continue the Star Wars Disney Plus series following its first season, which blah, 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 depicted Phantom Menace. This news comes at once as a shock, given it how much the season 1 finale ended on a cliffhanger and teased several plot lines for a season 2, here, and not much of a surprise, given the widely opposing reception from fans and less than robust viewership that appeared to drop off after the series premiere in June. Now, I will say this about that, right? You gotta stop like bothering at all with all this like internet activism.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because when a group of people decide the show's like horrible or does this, that, or the other to ruin Star Wars just upon the cast announcement, like, you know, like you can find the show good or bad. Like, you know, like if you like came in just watching it and you're just like, yeah, I didn't like the acting, or I didn't like, you know, this, that, or the
Whatever
other. Like,
it may be, right?
Yeah, like that's like, but to go in like months before, like harping about how it's going to be bad, it's like I don't really see you as a like a fair judge. And this is the other thing that like I think if you're going to be online, being a Star Wars fan, is it like when these people reply like on Twitter, it's the easiest thing to check. Like, just go look at their feed and see what else they believe about the real world. And then it's like, well, if you can't judge this real world thing like in a sane manner, who cares what you think about a TV show?
I agree, buddy.
It's sort of like I sort of discovered it. I feel like I had this like link, like at when the pandemic started, of just like, like it's useless to try to convince someone that's just so hardened in like their important thing hardwiring. It's like, oh, we're coming from total different angles.
Yeah,
as a person on the planet. But this is what frustrates me about it. It's like there's been no official like brand announcement that it's not coming back. Like, is that odd? Like normally a channel would announce when a show's not returning.
Right. So I feel like maybe there was, didn't Lucasfilm give some official statements to people that reached out, like press outlets that reached out?
Yeah, but that's like, you have to go read a website.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Like, it's sort of weird because how I think it would work is like, you know, StarWars.com. I don't know how much you can, you know, I haven't dived in, but I'd always think it's like a historic document.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? But like, I wonder how many announcements and stuff are just like, you know, vanished into thin air. I remember before it actually started, this is OG, being in the Frankston library, and there was nothing on the website yet except a survey of what you'd like out of the website.
I remember that.
And it was all white. And I was like,
you know, the day that the story broke about the Acolyte not getting renewed was the same day the story broke about Timora Morrison saying they haven't called him to do any more Boba Fett. It was a rough day in this household, buddy. Oof, that's a 1-2 punch.
You have to, like, it's impossible for me to imagine him not being in the Filoni film.
Right.
Heir to the Empire. Let's call it Heir to the Empire. We call it that.
You know, in that same thing, he said
call it Heir to the Empire, Hawes. Go on.
Heir to the Empire.
Thank you.
In that same, I guess it was a panel at a con that he was talking at. He mentioned that he was originally supposed to be in the 4th season of Mandalorian before they changed it to the movie.
Was he?
That's what he said. He said, originally I was going to be in the 4th season of Mandalorian, but they changed it to a movie, and I haven't heard anything else about it.
Wowzers.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Tasticon says they don't normally announce a negative. They never announced that there was no season 2 of Book of Boba Fett. Didn't they announce that the Game of Thrones one wasn't going ahead? Or am I tripping?
No, they did. They definitely announced that. They also announced Ron Howard taking over Solo. They never announced, and it's still kind of weird now. They never announced the stuff for Rogue One when Tony Gilroy stepped in for Gareth Edwards.
Well, that's like a secret. It's so weird.
A secret, and now that same guy that took over is directing like 24 episodes of a Star Wars show. It's so weird.
But
so weird.
And it's sort of like in the background, like when he does interviews and stuff, like he just talks about what he did on Rogue One, but it's sort of never like, hey, wait, what? Like,
that he was the second guy that was brought in on Rogue One.
Yeah, I don't know if I talked about last time, but we got through all of Andor. Jackie watched that for the first time, and then we watched Rogue One.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so good. It's a banger. I'm far easier on it now, but the main switch thing and it's always just like how that switch is just out in the field.
Oh yeah, that Bodhi has to connect. Yeah.
It's just like, is this a sketch? Is this Spaceballs? But I also about the Acolyte, I will never. I just want someone to ask. I just want to someone to DM me or something. It's anything. Just give me anything. Why did they keep the storyline secret until the first 5 minutes of the episode? Like, it's so bonkers. Like they did all. Like I understand, like the stranger getting kept secret. How he said, mm-hmm. I was left out of the lightsaber training. Boo hoo. Like go for it. But to not do all those interviews and not say you're playing twins.
Yeah, and it's all over the artwork, and then people started being able to put it together and stuff.
Well, I did it at a billboard. I was in LA traffic, and I was just looking at the billboard. I'm like, that's the same girl. Like, you wouldn't really
put her in two different outfits on the poster.
Yeah, like that. But why keep that secret? Secrets are holding them back. Even like the secrets within the show, like sometimes they're just annoyances. Because like when they're revealed, you're like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Like, and that was in Ahsoka and in this as well, where there's sort of like, I don't know. It's just like some of the reveals were just like, yeah. Like that whole Acolyte episode where you had to rewatch.
Right.
Like whole thing. Like, I've got complaints about it and confusions, but man, I thought some of it was so good. And
I really, and like, if you think about, so I'll use Lost as my example because that's what my go-to.
Everyone drink.
If you think about Lost, in my opinion,
and I do quite a lot.
Boy, do I. The first season is really good, but like the tweaks and changes that they made to the format and they had the time to readjust and stuff, I think really benefited that show and led it to become like a show that I enjoy as much as I do. It's my favorite show. And like to not give Acolyte that opportunity to make some adjustments for the second season, grow the characters a little bit and stuff. It's just, I don't think they gave that show enough time to grow. I think had they had gone through with the second season, retooled the budget a little bit, and let some word of mouth build in the lead up to a second season, I think it could have been successful.
Yeah, which one should I do first? I think like I'm quite cynical about this. but just like a modern day corporation on the stock exchange, they just don't think like that. Like
No, they don't.
you look at those, like, you know, the Warner Brothers, like, just like, oh, we'll just delete Catwoman and Batgirl. Sorry. And then there was another one like with John Cena and Bugs Bunny or something, like Space. Was it a Space Jam? No, it was like a Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I think it was like Coyote versus Acme. It was a movie where Coyote sues Acme Corporation.
Yeah, just deleted. So it's not. There's sort of no like nurturing manner. Like Seinfeld. Like their first season was 4 episodes. And it was dying. Like, I think it wasn't until like maybe like the 3rd season or something, and it was like the biggest show of all time. But yeah, I just don't think they're run by like such algorithms that. And I saw some like one of those, you know, the websites that, you know, their Google search thing's pretty good, but you know they're just always like just making up stories essentially, like and it says that that because the Acolyte got cancelled, that's why there's only one Star Wars show a year now on Disney Plus.
That's not that was already in effect well before the Acolyte got canceled. Like, yeah, the time it takes to put together these shows and everything, there's no way that's a reaction to the Acolyte. That's the way it was going to be, regardless.
Because and they're dropping back like Marvel shows. They're canceling other shows that were going to be like they got promoted, like other just like Disney random. I don't know, like the Haunted Mansion or something. You know, like just stuff like that. Where you like, for me, it's sort of like. It's nothing, but yeah, that's just how they run now. But in the long run, you've got this like Star Wars fan base that did like it, and then, you know, another type of fan that sort of attached themselves to like the, you know, the romance and all that, like the shipping, and sort of spark their interest, because like typically the person that's into that probably isn't that into like the Mandalorian season 3.
Right. I think you can service different sectors of the fan base with different properties, right?
And then you get them all amped and into something,
and then just take
and then you just chop it off. So it's just like they have such a trust issue with like all these cancellations and all that, and you know, of whole projects. And so, you know, it had this big, you know, I would like backlash before it even came out, that, you know, gets muddled up with people that genuinely just didn't, you know, it wasn't for them. They, you know, like they didn't like a certain part of it, and that's fair enough. But it all snowballs into like, you know, because these just blaring voices online. But then you've, you know, which I feel like, what's it called? The Rise of Skywalker did, is like to try to alter things to like course adjust, like to the demands of, or the complaints of people that didn't like something. You're snubbing the people that actually liked it.
Yeah. You're trying to serve two masters when you do that, and in most cases, in my opinion, when you do that, nobody wins, right? And the final product hurts because of it.
Yeah, and you've got this thing of like, you know, like the Disney is the sort of company that likes to promote, you know, diversity and stuff, and then you've got a group of fans that's the first thing they look for to rally against.
Right.
So like I don't know. I wish I had a saying, a ye olde saying, or an analogy for it, but it's, you know, it's kind of useless in the end, unless you like just come out with the blandest, like self-serving, like slop, which I'll say no more on that. season 3. I've but then you lose this whole side of fandom that is into sort of, you know, a bit more depth. You know, it's like I'm so amped for Andor, but it's for me and my excitement as a Star Wars fan, it's a bleak outlook after that without something else that I'm going to be into. Because, you know, like, I hope I love The Mandalorian and Grogu, but everything that I see and read is and have experienced is like, yeah, I think this one's going to be okay.
You want to know? I got a weird prediction for future Star Wars content. I was talking about this with Will the other day when we were hanging out in Discord. Star Wars Celebration Japan next year, right? I have a feeling that they might announce either a show or a movie or something directed by the guy that directed Godzilla -1.
Okay.
Because he has gone on the record several times, several times, saying he wants to do something in Star Wars.
Yeah. Do you reckon that the Taka one will ever happen? It seems like he's not on a roll.
I don't think that one will ever happen. I think the Rey movie will happen. I think that stands a pretty good chance. That James Mangold movie is a little up in the air, I think. I would like to see it happen because it sounds fascinating.
Yeah, there's a bit of debate in the chat about which are the better witches, the Ahsoka witches or the Acolyte witches. What's your pick, and what do you think I will choose?
Between the witches, like which ones I like better? Which group of witches?
Just the whole
Acolyte.
like storyline, everything.
Acolyte.
Yeah, me too. I am like this zombie thing. I
like that. I like that.
Just how they come back to life. It just redefines everything.
Yeah, but it's also established that the Dothamiri witches can do that kind of stuff. So, doesn't bother me.
Sam says, can't watch now. Getting a tattoo in a few.
Sheesh.
You gotta tell us what you're getting.
Yeah, man.
But stoked for a listen back to a new Hyperchat. See your Steele, see your Hawes. We've got to know what he's getting tattooed.
What if he's getting one of the witches from Ahsoka tattooed?
But how's this? The first time I went to Target after the Acolyte got cancelled was the first time I saw Acolyte merchandise on the shelf.
I'm seeing it all the time now.
And, you know, it's my favorite of all the bugbears. But sell the toys before people get to watch the show.
Or before you cancel the show.
No. Because you've got to, like, before the show, you're working on people's imagination of, like, you're going to put them in the coolest mental situation. During the show, they could well die. And living characters sell better than dead characters.
Right.
Because you're, like, excited about their future. You can have them and imagine. And then after the show, well, you've lost your weekly advertisement for the character. Too far out of the show. And then you're reading Variety going, what? But brutal that they had those. They should. Do you know what would be sick? If I was a heartless media executive, I would get onto that episode 8 of the Acolyte and just snip off those 2 little hints of future storylines and re-upload that. The cancelled cut.
Oh, take out the sort of threads for a second season and just boom, that's it.
Yoda, you're done, son.
Plagueis out of here.
Back in the shadows.
Man, that's such a bummer. Ugh.
So, or you could like CGI Ki-Adi-Mundi's head where Yoda's was.
Now, see, that's the real shame.
That would make you miss it more.
Yeah, but that's the real shame, in my opinion, and I'm not joking. There was high potential for more Ki-Adi-Mundi next season, and no more. They gave him back just to take him away again, just like Boba Fett, Steele.
And it was so funny in retrospect, like all the outrage about the Ki-Adi-Mundi not like, he didn't know about the Sith. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, he doesn't know about it yet. So let's watch the next few episodes. Like, I'm pretty certain they're going to weave.
The funny thing to me about it is some of the bad faith takes on the show and how it was breaking Star Wars. They addressed every single one of them in the show in a way that it did not interfere with the Phantom Menace or any other pre-established canon. And like, they did it every turn. Like, that was, to me, one of the more impressive things about the Acolyte is the way they paid reference or were reverent to the prequel films, but didn't do anything that, lessened their impact or took anything away from them. Everything was explained.
Yeah, like all that stuff they like weaved around so well. Like, there is like, for me, like super patchy things about it.
Yeah.
But I definitely want to see it keep going. The ongoing thing of, they almost found out about the Sith, and Sol almost telling one of the girls what happened was a bit rich for me.
Yeah, they definitely had to dance around some of that.
Just do one. And the Sol ones were so labored because as soon as you go to do it, you'd be like, oh, something's about to happen. Like, it was so like pro wrestling projected.
Mm-hmm.
But RIP. And people like, they can follow it up in novels. And it's just like, yeah, not on my watch.
I mean, they can, and I'm sure they will. And
I'm not.
That's not. And I do not mean disrespect to novels, comics, or anything. That doesn't do it for me.
Just with the amount of time I've got and my like where my attention drives, it's got to be moving.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like an animation of it, like I'd take it.
See, the one I want, which they'd never do, and is probably the least accessible option, would be a video game.
No.
Yeah. Like I said, I know it's not possible, and it's the most inaccessible option that they could go with. But I'd love that.
It's too complex a story to then have like a first person.
Well, it wouldn't be first person. You wouldn't have to be.
No, but like I don't like games where you change the character. Like, in this stage of this, I just want to be the one character.
Okay.
So then otherwise it would have to be always just one person's in every scene. Anyway, no, Hawes, that's selfish.
Fair. That's fair.
Very upset. But such a bummer. It's just it just had like messy bits, but the overall thing, the whole thing with the secrets and like maybe just have it play out in chronological order. Like, get rid of flashbacks. They're so like they're just turning into such a cheat.
Yeah. Well, considering it's something that they never used in Star Wars for the longest time,
Mm-hmm. All right, we've dropped off Instagram because we've gone an hour, and that's also a good warning for me to go get into dad mode. So
we can't have Harry getting skellied.
Oh, bloody hell, no. But thanks so much, Hawes. This was awesome fun. Catch up. Blue Harvest podcast coming out this Friday, the the finest drop of Star Wars podcasting in the game.
Oh, thanks, buddy. You know, we are quickly approaching 500 episodes, too.
Wow. Straight into promo mode there, Hawes. Very slick.
Hey, listen.
And you're streaming?
Yeah.
You're outlawing?
Yep. Doing a bunch of different games on the stream. Twitch.tv/Blue Harvest Pod for that.
Good action. All right, everyone. And leave a like and thumbs and retweet and you know. I turned on my thing and it's not doing the alerts, the gestures. Man, it's just blow after blow, hardship after hardship. But clearly, things have gone on
long enough.
So may that force be with you.
See you guys.